started with a monster of a man.
We hunted him across the seas.
Into the storm.
Then we fell.
Now we are here.
The sky twists.
The stars are all wrong.
We killed the man.
But we're no closer to home.
We left for different reasons.
For legends.
For adventure.
For acceptance.
For fame.
For answers.
But how do we escape?
The Everstorm.
We are on.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Tonight, we are doing an interim game, which explains the absence of Koto from last game. So, this will have taken place after episode 12. So where we left off, we're just gonna get started because Clint is a man of precious time. And as I speak, I'm giving him a game that is taking him away from building his own bionic leg to save him from the pain he's in right now. So, you are on the shoreline. You've just seen this chase with another skeezer. And you chased him and you tried to stop him, and when does this end? When does any of it make any sense? And then you see Skeezer talking to this other one, and the other one starts excitedly ranting at Skeezer. And right about this moment, a voice rolls in from the sky, north maybe. And as it comes out, you hear at first what sounds like thunder, but it's just the deep resonance of this voice.
You are challenged.
And then you feel a wave of sleepiness hit you like never before. You pass out clean. At first, you shake it loose. This is nonsense. This is the worst time for this to possibly happen. Go ahead and give me a wisdom save.
Dice. You are lucky tonight. My children have my dice. It's a 15. 15 plus 4 is a 19.
You hit the sand. However, you've rolled high enough to realize as you're shaking it loose, wait a minute. Something about the equilibrium of shaking this effect away. Something about your balance feels soupy, like you're drunk. You know you did some drinking on the way, but you were sober by the time they hit the shore. You were sharp. And that's when you're like, the save has brought you clarity that wherever you are, you might not be conscious right now, and this might not be real. Gravity feels a little weird. It feels a little light. You can even feel underneath your feet the shore is real coarse sand. In fact, it's almost like rock. And that's when you see that around you is a blend. The shoreline you were on, and off in the distance, black stones that are erratics, standing 5 feet up, jagged, but then they'll have a whole surface that looks almost like hardened foam. And everything underneath you is bits of rock. The beach is made of rock. However, you also see some of the fixtures of where you were, as if the two landscapes have somehow merged, and behind you is the shore you remember when you woke up. And what's ahead of you is a very familiar beach. Ahead.
This is the beach that I visited in my dream.
All the time.
Okay.
And you see that the light, there's a faint light coming from ahead where that cave mouth is, but up the beach, not that far, you see standing Zurzig and Labadagaz. And I am desperately, for this map you're looking at, trying to find them. The tokens that I use for them, because I'm prepared for this encounter. Both are looking in your direction. However, Zurzig is in a 3-point stance. He is holding his arm while clutching a purplish black chunk of obsidian. And you see that Labadagaz is holding the same thing, and she's standing about 6 feet away. And Zurzig is injured, and Labadagaz is holding that her rock has blood on it. She snaps in your direction, and she's like, and it looks like tensing up for a fight. She is about 50 yards away up the shoreline, and
I put both my hands up. Labadagaz, what is going on here? And I start walking slowly.
Then a rumbling comes out kind of everywhere. And you see, as you're making your steps forward, it's almost like the sun is setting and darkness is rolling in the distance, closing slowly, as if the world has a dimmer switch that's coming down, except for this area. And so as it's getting darker and darker with each step, you see that she is looking nervous, and the blackness kind of swallows her as lights go down. Very much in the style of a horror movie where light naturally fades, and they continue to fade away till all you see in the last moment is shine coming from the bloody rock and the reflection in her eyes, which look crazed and desperate and afraid. Fear is definitely the dominant thing emoting out of her. And then she seems to notice the darkness swallowing her too, and starts to try and run for you, and then she's gone. Like, the light goes out and she should run in your direction, which should increase her visibility.
You're a believer. I need a believer. Who are you?
And you see, walking out of the darkness, a black dragonborn. But this black dragonborn is smooth. His scales seem to reflect starlight and have little motes of light shining through them with purple undertones. And his motions are very fluid. He has the grace of a gold or a green, which he carries himself very high postured. It would be likened to the similarities you saw in how elves carried themselves the first time you saw elves. The first thing that struck you when you saw elves is that they walk like a gold or a red, but they lack the forward driving purpose that a red always seems to have. As he strolls out, he is somewhat shorter than you. But what is strange? Perception check. Let's see how much strange you pick up.
Nope, I don't pick up any strange.
Oh, lovely.
Thank you, Die Hard Dice.
The painfully obvious is he's naked, and he seems to be walking through the darkness, and the darkness seems to mist on the ground, black mist, kind of like dry ice if it were flowing along, and it seems to trail out behind him as if it's a wake of it coming out of the darkness behind him, not like he's emanating it. No, those are not mine. And as he comes out, I am cold, many things, but the dreamer feels quaint. That will suffice, Koto.
The dreamer.
I am imprisoned here, Koto, and I wish it no longer. I offer you freedom, what I desire. But for that freedom, I need your help. I am bound by a believer.
Who?
The great menace. The zealot, green of scale. She would die for the great father. And she keeps me here in a box. But I found a window. I apologize in the name of the mother. And he bows deep. And the bow is a standard courtly bow that you would find in the 5 teeth of a noble or an academic. In the name of the mother, I offer my gratitude and my apologies for these assaults. To take one
It is shameful, but these children are.
And he's looking in the general direction where Labadagaz and Zurzig were.
Strong and weak. But they are promisers, not believers, Koto. And promises can be broken.
So you are not the one that we have seen flying in the sky. You are someone else.
If you've seen her and lived, then she was drifting of focus, or she was not looking upon you as all the children should be respected.
And on respected, his voice picks up a low and resonant reverb with a bit of an echo. This seems to stay in his region. It's not everywhere. And as he turns, that purple glimmer in his scales is very eerie. You're starting to wonder if it's somehow a light he emanates or if it's reflecting off of him. It's actually hard to tell. However, and the more you're watching, and he's now starting to pace at a conversational distance from you, his horns are not a black's horns. The somewhat ram horns that come forward, he doesn't have those. He actually doesn't have 2. He's got closer to 8, and they curl back and wisp, like they waver, like they ripple. And he's got them going down the back of his neck. And the more you're starting to try and break down his ancestry, it's not making a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
His ancestry is extremely hard to peg. If you had to guess, the only thing that makes sense is if he's even more mixed ancestry than you, to where none are evident, only his own.
Tell me, why would Mother lock you here?
Mother did not lock me here. I was chased here, driven from home, because the mother's work called to me. Weak things that scurried in the waters were facing a great suffering I saw on the horizon. When the time came for me to offer her solace, her guardianship, a great green zealot brought me here and caged me. Saw to it that this place become what it is. She and I have been here since the beginning.
And what name does the green one go by?
She may have forgotten it, but I have not. They once called her in the great halls beyond Kadangir as Virilinox. She was quiet, but strong-willed. I did not know her But now as she is the only blood that is mine. And we have been here for so very long, child. So very long.
So you have called to me to persuade her to release her bonds?
I would ask of you to carry with you the mother's strength, and that could your words do the task, so be it. But if your words fail, the will of the mother is stronger. It is always willing to do what needs to be done for the greater good of all. And that is why she soars so high. The heavens can see all and has the strength of will. But Koto, I must be free. And these promisers are promising much. But I don't believe they believe. I think they smell the strength of my blood, and I think they would take. They have asked of me the first right, the right of blood, the father's stance.
The father's stance is familiar. Right of blood didn't make any sense.
Okay.
That sounds like a children's story or something. Right of blood. Okay, sure, there's a right of blood. The father's stance is actually a old religious term for trial by combat.
They challenge you.
They challenge you.
They wish to prove themselves.
They wish to show me their belief with tooth and stone. And who am I to deny the Father's laws?
Tell me, when they meet Verlinox, do you think a child with tooth and stone will change any of her mind?
I have been a prisoner for hundreds of years. And I cannot sleep though I dream. She has put me in a hell to teach me. But the Father's lessons aren't for teaching. They are to prove and punish. And so I sit. You are a believer, Koto, so you have my hope.
Are you also requesting the aid of the cauldron? Or is that more of her work?
The cauldron is strong. The cauldron is a gambit A small tool of the first age. A tool when we warred, and I thought it lost. When it came here, I knew if it could be brought here, I could use it to break the box. I need hope, and I will take hope where it presents. I am a prisoner. I have to take every choice, Koto. But you, nothing has broken you, child. I don't think anything can.
How would the cauldron be used?
The cauldron holds breath. You breathe, and when you inhale, you take all held. As much as it drank. Its name in the first age is the throat of Kerr.
So with the cauldron, it's possible. For a child.
With the cauldron, a great deal is possible. It is not here. The red moves it. Her scales look down upon mine. Her scales are judgment. But you... I don't know who forged you, Koto. But watching, I think you forged yourself something no one is ready for. I am. I would be your family and your guide if you would free me, Koto.
To have an elder request something of me is an honor upon itself. To speak in the presence of one I will accept. I will find Verilinox. We will break your box. If you need me to destroy those two, I will do it before I leave.
This place will only leave them marred.
And he waves a hand, and you see wisps come off and form leaves on the wind. A small bird. He goes like this, and the rocks at his feet rumble and make like a little rift. It's strings and phantasms to be pulled and changed. It can harm, it cannot kill.
They
Test
both
their
already
promise. Then show them, my champion. And he holds out a hand.
I take a knee first, and then I reach out my own.
Okay. Do you accept his hand?
I do.
You feel a warmth flow across your scales. And for a moment, you see behind him a shadow he seems to cast in the black. The shadow he is casting behind him into the void of black looks like it's made out of a night sky, like it's made out of stars. And it is as big as when you saw Verillinox fly. It has 4 wings outstretched. And it's really hard to see much of the rest of what's there because as it's made of a negative space, it lacks any 3-dimensional form. So it's more like you're looking at a giant silhouette. I mark you now. The hand of Zynox. Zynox. Show these promisers your hand. And he fades away. And Labadagaz is looking at you, wild-eyed, exactly where she was. No. I am here now. I came here. You were just brought with this tricks. When I wake, I will still be here. And I have earned my way.
You have earned
You've
nothing.
stumbled into this.
I have been chosen. You have failed on every front this entire expedition. Again, you have failed. I am now the hand of Zernok.
You have a title. Then I will rip it from you. Initiatives.
I thought you said you didn't want to combat.
I won't worry too much about movement, I don't think. Because that seems silly.
I have a 13. Hey, folks, we won't have a battle map. This is going to be all like theater of the mind.
All right. She rolled very low. She rolled a 2. Woohoo! Good times, good times, good times. All right. Let me get something here, but go ahead and make your move. She is running towards you. She is within 50 feet and closing with her stone. You do not have your weapons here.
Okay. Give me just a second.
Oh, I finally found her. Woohoo. That's almost her.
So I don't have any weapons at all on me?
You got your armor,
Mhm.
but you don't have any weapons with you. She doesn't either, apparently. You don't see anything on her. She does have armor, though.
Okay.
It looks weathered and beat up. It looks salvaged. It wasn't what you saw her wearing when she left, or when you left her with the colony.
Right.
Which is where you last saw her.
Okay.
Zerzig, as you can see now, Zerzig is dead. His body, his head is caved in on the beach.
Okay.
Do I have a dead body? I bet I do have a dead body token. I bet I got a dead body token. Ha ha ha. Look at that. Dead bodies everywhere. Yeah, he's smashed.
That's sad. Well, I suppose I will also pick up a rock.
You notice that hers does seem different.
Mm-hmm.
Though you do see chunks of what could be pumice, obsidian, or other types of igneous kind of rock laying around. You see some chunks of granite that are like a darker granite with some marbleization. Hers has like a sheen to it.
Okay.
That is reacting strange in the light. I wouldn't say it glows, but I would say it's almost got like a purple metallic chrome look to it as she's running towards you.
Okay. I will pick up my rock.
Okay. I'm not going to do turn order because it's just the two of you. So
yeah, I will pick up my rock and I'm going to cast Blinding Smite. Now its duration is up to a minute, so I'm just going to hold this until she gets up close to me, because you said she's still like 50 feet away, right?
40 right now, 40.
About 40 feet away. Okay. So, technically you burn an action, right? To hold an action. Is that right?
You burn, you put a freeze on your reaction. So if you hold an action, you toss your reaction aside. Okay. So that if the opportunity to use a reaction comes up, you no longer have that because you chose to hold an action.
Okay.
But so that means you have the bonus action of picking up the rock. You have the action for whatever you want to do.
Okay. Yep. So then I'm just gonna stand. I'm not gonna hold an action because my hold action would require a bonus, not a reactive.
Okay.
I don't have any cam music.
That's okay. I got cam music with my mouth. Cam. All right. So let's see here.
I could pull up some cam music, I suppose, right? Technically.
Let
me
and okay. Koto music would be better. is what Lady Z. Cam.
Yeah. Let's see.
She comes running up. And these will happen simultaneously because you're holding an action. So she's going to go in for a strike. Go ahead and roll yours.
19, which is a crit.
Oh, Nat 20 and a 19. This is gonna be crazy. Okay, this is gonna be blood on the beach. Okay, this is great. All right, shit. Okay, your rock is gonna be 1d4
Okay.
because Koto wouldn't get some little piddle nonsense.
Right. Let's see if this chat can hear this. Let's see. I need to add.
All right. Good old 1d4 crits. She does a whopping let's see. So double the dice plus she does 4 points of crit damage to you.
Nice.
Roar!
Nice.
And then the 19 is a 4 as well.
Okay.
She's stronger than you thought. She came across. You've never fought her in your life. You only vaguely know of her from back home. But she came across as like a politician. This is not what you necessarily expected. She's not as strong as you though, but that was a good hit.
Okay, she did. So do those numbers again because I just got the music going.
4.
4 and 4.
It was 4 and 4. Mm-hmm.
So 8 damage. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and smite. Since I crit on that. It's a D4 for my rock, you said?
A D4.
So that's 6 on the rock. 12. 15. 27. 6. So that's 33 plus
Jesus.
14.
33 with a fucking rock.
14, 20, 28. 32 radiant damage.
She's got 65 with a rock.
With the rock. Now make a con save.
Okay, what's
I
my
am
DC?
the champion. I am the champion.
The die says 16, and it's going to come out to a whopping 17.
Okay, she made the save, so she is not blinded.
Okay. Oh my god. Your hit is so huge, it actually knocks her back 5 feet. Let's see. I'm going to use my reaction and expend a superiority die to parry that, which is not as big as what it's not going to be as good as what I want. So I get to reduce that by a D8 with a dex save, with the dex thing. Oh, man, I rolled a 1. That's cool. That's cool. You see her eyes go wide as you reach up, and then the rock starts to glow. And as you bring it down, she tries to duck at the last second and throw up a bracer to knock it aside. And you shatter through her arm. You hear the crunch and drive her own stone into her chest as the light bursts right in front of her eyes. That was my action and your reaction. It's now your turn.
18. Darn, that's not going to be a crit. And a 14.
18 on the die or 18 to
Oh,
hit?
no. Sorry, I've got a +8 to hit.
That's what I thought. Okay, then
Yeah.
both are a hit. Hit.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and burn a smite anyway. $18 damage on the first hit.
She's bleeding.
She's not looking good, right?
No, she looks really bad.
So, as a free action, or just as a social, before I smash one last time, I hold up my palm in front of her. I was the chosen one. And I smite at the last time.
No!
7, 10, 19 on the last one.
How does her story here end?
I continue to wail as she's putting up her hands to stop. And I just keep going and crush her skull.
As you are kneeling, driving the stone, she takes a knee on the first hit. On the second hit, you knock her onto the ground. On the third, you've shoved her hands into her skull. And now it's becoming a pulp of scale and blood as spray is splashing you from the pullback of the stone. And yet it's glowing from the light emanating from the stone. And as the droplets are hitting you, you start to open your eyes and droplets are hitting you as you're looking up, and it's daytime, and a dragon, rainbow colored, flies over you as blood trails into your eyes. You're on the ground. Kurik is next to you going, and you can see that Kurik has killed 2 of the sea uglies that are near you. And as the dragon flies off the distance, you're starting to stand up. You see arrows coming out of, and then you look over, and there's a full-on wizard tower here that was not here before. And you can see standing atop of it in total go mode. You can clearly see Morgaine firing long shots. And he's not cocky Morgaine, but he has the intense calm of a professional that is going to finish this job. But he doesn't look... The cockiness is gone. And that's where we wrap.
Oh. The Hand of Zynox, huh? Nice.
And Koto has faced some music, y'all.
I faced the music. I even played the music for him.
Fun thing was I got to tell the guys how you would wake up.
Yeah.
Based on things that actually happened in game, and they're like, "Oh, that's good." I was like, it's gonna be so perfect. You do get a good look at the dragon.
Okay.
It is a biggin. It's not like Virilinox huge or Zynox huge. It's like an adult size, maybe elder or ancient, but it looks like its whole body evenly gradiates from top to bottom through the whole color spectrum 3 times. It's got these bands of every ridiculous color across its body, and it's bleeding. It's taking hits. In fact, as you're like smearing it off you, the blood is rainbow. It's weird. Like when you're touching it, when you're touching it and looking at it and smearing it, it smears like oil and water, and that the colors stay separate. They don't blend while it smears around. It looks actually closer to like some sort of kid's candy than blood, but when it hits your face, it's warm. Stursik was not prepared. You are not prepared.
I pet Keurig.
And then he turns and he looks at you. And it's like, and it like relaxes. You can see it scooches aside a hand that its hand was resting on.
That's awesome. All right.
Join us tomorrow, everybody, for episode 13, Wake, of season 2 Everstorm, where the crew of the Grit will deal with the aftermath of Plixitix, the Powerful and Perilous.
Oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Thanks, everybody, for showing up tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It was brief, but I want to get to some goodness. So
yeah. Dragon plot.
Dragon plot.
It's always good. It's always good to have a little extra dragon plot.
He's always about the dragon plots because they're better than everybody else's plot.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's called Dungeons and Dragons.
It is. It's not called Dungeons and Elves. Their stories
It's
suck.
not called Dungeons and Gnome Wizards. Come on. It's not called Dungeons and High Pitched Clone Voices. Come on.
Yeah. Far more popular than Koto, though. To be honest. Come on. Let's be real.
That's okay. That's okay. Your super fan is here tonight, so your super fan's all set.
Yes. All right. Catch us 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow.
If you like RP, I promise you heavy RP tomorrow. Oh my gods. So thank you very much, everybody. See you tomorrow night. Have a lovely Saturday. Thank you. Thank you, Clint.
Yep. Thanks, everyone.